of my favorite places here in Georgia are in areas that you don't always hear talked about. If you've thought about making a move to Georgia, some of these places that I mentioned may not even be on your radar. And even if you live here, unless you were born and raised like I was or drive around all the time, you may not have even checked them out. Having been born and raised right here in the suburbs of Georgia for the last 40 years, these areas are some I love, yet I feel like are always overlooked. So today, I want to take you through some of these cities that if you're thinking about making a move to Georgia, I really don't think you should miss out on. But why consider these? Well, I want to talk to you about location, price point, and what really and truly each of these cities has to offer you. The first place that I think is really important for you to know about is the city of Sugar Hill. Sugar Hill is literally right on the other side of Suwanee, but has a little bit more affordable price tag. The average home price here in Sugar Hill, you're looking at about $400,000. Sugar Hill was always Suwanee's little sister, but they decided a few years ago to show up in a big way. There's the Greenway, there's tons of parks here, and the downtown area of Sugar Hill has grown leaps and bounds. Some of my favorite restaurants, Rushing Trading Company and Scoops Ice Cream, are right here. There's the brand new rooftop deck that's overlooking the park and everything that it has to offer. There's the Bowl, where there are tons of live entertainment all of the time with some pretty great names. Most of the homes that you find in Sugar Hill were built in the 90s. You're going to have price points from $350,000 and going up. However, there is a lot of new construction going on in Sugar Hill, from apartments to condos to townhomes. You name it, Sugar Hill has got it. Sugar Hill is so centrally located. It's right in the middle. You can drive over to Highway 400 or shoot down I-85 if you need to get into the city to commute. And you're just a stone's throw from Lake Lanier. So if that's something you can enjoy, you can literally be there in 3 minutes to put your boat in the water. Or if fishing's more your speed, the Chattahoochee River is just 5 minutes away. I actually spent the majority of my week at this next location checking out all of the new construction options with a client that I had come in visiting from Florida. They're thinking about making the move here, and this is one of their top locations. The city of Woodstock is a total gem. You've got total suburbia in Town Lake, with the average home price hovering around $500,000. The homes here were built mostly in the early 2000s. The streets are lined with trees and just give you this hometown feel. You've got a Publix, Sprouts, literally everything you need is right here at your fingertips. There's a golf community, swim, tennis, and a hospital system right down the road. Now, Woodstock's downtown is probably one of my personal favorites. The restaurants here are top-notch, and it just kind of has that old world vibe. You've got the train station, which was actually one of the first in the state of Georgia quite some time ago. You've got Century House, Jekyll Brewing, and there's a new Starbucks within walking distance to all of the new construction that's just seconds away from downtown. There's new construction options giving that more urban vibe with luxury townhomes and condos with an average price point of around $850,000. You remember those clients I just told you about that were visiting from Florida? Well, they came up with a specific area in mind, but when we got there, it didn't actually speak to them the way they had hoped. They took a leap of faith, drove over to Woodstock, and were actually pleasantly surprised that they were just about 10-15 minutes away from the city of Alpharetta, which meant she could get to all of her favorite restaurants in no time. They ended up walking new construction by Toll Brothers at Vista Ridge and absolutely fell in love. Named for its beautiful 88-acre lake, Berkeley Lake was actually started as a summer retreat back in the 50s and 60s. As you drive around Berkeley Lake, you can't help but notice that a lot of those adorable bungalows from the 50s and 60s still stand to this day. There's a lot of different types of housing in the Berkeley Lake area. The one thing that is steadfast for all of it is you're going to have a lot of rolling hills throughout Berkeley Lake. There's going to be canopies of trees and lots of established landscaping, as Berkeley Lake is one of the older communities in the area. You're just minutes from Peachtree Corners, so you can be to the Forum in literally 5 minutes. You've also got Jones Bridge Park, which is one of my favorites. You can walk right down to the river. There's also some beautiful new construction that backs up to the river called River District. Now these homes are next level. You're looking at $1 million and up, but man, is it worth it. You've got views of the Chattahoochee River looking over into the Atlanta Athletic Club. Most of the homes that are right on the lake are going to have a bit of a slope. So you're going to notice in a lot of the homes here, those rolling hills really affect your landscaping. You're probably not gonna have a flat backyard and a flat front yard. You're gonna probably have one or the other. There's also a lot of homes here that were built in the late 90s, early 2000s, and that's because school districts here, like Berkeley Lake Elementary, are top notch. Berkeley Lake is a really small, quiet, quaint community with only about 2,500 people. And like I mentioned before, this is one of the areas that when we had the Great Recession back in 2008, 2009, they didn't really see a dip in pricing. Georgia as a whole has done a really fantastic job of holding its value. While we're seeing some states right now kind of going backwards in pricing, Georgia is still holding its own. If you're thinking of buying or selling in any of the suburbs of Georgia, my team and I would love to be a resource. You can reach me at ashley@myhaventeam.com or reach out in the description below. I sincerely appreciate you watching this video. I hope it helped, and I'll see you on the next one.